close their microphone, please? Because I can hear myself, which is not a good thing. Okay, there's Chantal Clément, who's here, who's also a co-op advisor, and my colleague José Williams, who's also a co-op advisor. And I have my other colleague who's the team lead co-op placement operations, and her name is Isabelle Leduc. So today we have José who will be presenting a little bit of information on how to indicate your placement intention. And I will have my colleague Isabelle discuss the virtual interview process. After the presentation, we will have a question period where you can raise your hands. We'll not be using the chat because it is difficult. Okay, somebody still has their microphone on because I can hear myself, and it's very difficult to discuss at the same time. Thank you. So there'll only be raised hands. So if ever you cannot have your question answered, I do.
Ton micro est fermé, Daniel.
There we go. If you have any questions at the end of the presentation that hasn't been answered, I do suggest that you send it to the appropriate person. I have put the links of all the 3 different co-op advisors, so you can send it directly to them. Or if there are general questions on the co-op process, you can send it to coop@uottawa.ca, which is the general inbox that we have for general questions. I think so please keep your questions at the end more general. All the personal questions, we would rather you send it to us directly so that we don't use up some time because you are over 200 students right now. So if there's nothing else to add, I will pass on this to José Williams, who has a short presentation for you.
Hi,
Go ahead, José.
Hi, welcome everybody. It's nice to see that a lot of students have joined the presentation. So I'll just go over quickly this afternoon information regarding your placement intentions. There's often a lot of confusion regarding the placement intentions. So whether you're doing your first work term this summer or this is your last work term or second or third, the information that we'll be presenting today will be pertinent to all of you. So when you've been asked since I believe December to enter your placement intention. So you've noticed that there's different choices that you can make for your placement intentions. So I'll just go over oh yes, and the deadline to submit your placement intentions is coming up. It'll be on Tuesday, January 12th. So this is why we're doing this presentation. So your first choice when you log into the Co-op Navigator and click on the tab that says participate, you'll see a long list. So the first item on the list is participate in placement. So this one is straightforward. It means that you're going to be applying to the jobs that are posted on the Co-op Navigator. And just a reminder that these jobs will be available as of Monday, January 11th, so you can't see them today. And to view these jobs, there's also going to be a workshop offer that's now available on Brightspace. So if you haven't already done it, please do it now. The workshop is called Applying to Co-op Jobs. So it's very important that you have a look at this workshop before Monday. So to look at the jobs, you'll be going into the Co-op Navigator and you'll see a tab that says jobs. So you'll click on that tab and you'll see job postings. So job postings are the jobs that are available on the Co-op Navigator. And in that menu, you'll also see index. So index is another way to apply to jobs. Those are jobs that employers have a different hiring process. or just want to manage their own hiring process. So they post separately, okay? So going back to the actual form in the NAV for the placement intentions. So if you decide to participate in the placement, that means you're going to apply to a reasonable number of jobs. You're going to attend all your interviews, and then at the end of the first round, which my colleague Isabel will explain to you after me, you will rank those jobs. So basically, participating in the placement is to give you access to the interview process provided by the co-op office. One thing to keep in mind, though, if you want to be able to see the jobs that are posted on Monday, you need to make sure that your co-op resume has been approved and that you've clicked participate in placement and saved your intentions. If you haven't saved your placement intentions, you're not going to be able to see the jobs on Monday. So the next two categories are somewhat similar. So there's always some confusion between conducting my own job search and I have found my own job. So conducting my job search is you're saying no to doing the job search through the co-op navigator or through the co-op office's interview process. So that means you're going to look on your own. You still have access to Index. Everybody, no matter what your placement intentions are, you have access to Index and you can apply to the jobs that are posted on Index. But this means that you prefer to conduct your own job search. So what's important to keep in mind with the conducting my own job is once you have found that job, you need to go into the quick links in the co-op navigator and choose found my, the form that says I have found my own job and provide us the information for the job that you found on your own. So that's going to be, this form is also available on the co-op navigator, yes. And so the difference between conducting my own job search is you don't have your job yet. Whereas if you have a job, so an employer has approached you, they've given you a job description and they've given you a job offer. So if you have that now ready to go, please fill out. So for your placement intentions, you'll click, I have found my own co-op job. And again, we will ask you to fill out the found own form that is on the co-op navigator. And then the last option, or I'm not sure where it's situated in it, but there's also an option that's return to my previous employer. So returning to my previous employer is for our students that have already done a co-op work term with us. So the employer has contacted you and says, hey, I want you to come back for the summer term. Everything's approved. So the student goes ahead and fills out, I'm returning to my previous employer. Now, some of you with the returning to previous employer, especially if your job is with the federal government of Canada, they may not know right away. It's a little bit early for them to confirm whether they can rehire you for the summer. So there's a couple of options for you. The first one is to wait it out, indicate in your placement intentions that you're returning, and just wait and see what happens. If the employer comes back to you and says, no, it's not going to work out in the next month or so, just let us know and then we'll reassess your situation so that you can participate in the placement. If you feel that it's a risk to wait it out, it's like a 50-50 chance, you're not too sure what to do, you could participate in the placement. But the thing to keep in mind is that if you participate in the placement and that you're matched and your employer tells you, hey, I can take you back, it'll be too late. So once you're matched in the system, that's the final decision. So once you're matched, we don't cancel matches unless it's for a medical reason. But besides that, once you're matched, you're matched. So we do recommend that if you're returning, to wait it out a bit. not to participate in the placement so that it doesn't conflict with being matched and the potential of being matched with an employer. Now, the other famous question that we often get is, I'd like to participate I want to participate in placement, and I also want to conduct my own job search. So we do encourage students to conduct their own job search. There will be jobs posted in the Co-op Navigator, but if you're looking for something specific, or you just want to make sure that you do get a job this summer, we do recommend you conduct your own job search. Now, the thing with that is, once you're committed to the placement and you find your own job, ideally, in a perfect world, you would find your own job, that you get the job offer, job description by January 29th. Makes it easy. We just pull you out of placement and we match you to the job that you found on your own. However, the placement being so early and the interview period being so early, you may get the job offer later. So what's important to keep in mind is that if you've participated in the placement, you've ranked, and you're matched, then you have to stop your own job search. If an employer comes back later and says, hey, I've got a job for you, it'll be too late, okay? But if you're not matched after the first round, which we'll have another session for that later on, but you can, if you're not matched or you're not getting interviews, just continue your job search. That's fine. Just keep in mind that the interviews or the process in the Co-op Navigator has priority. So if you have interviews, those interviews come first. If you found your own job, as long as you're not matched, you can accept it. The best thing is, if you have any doubts or you have a very specific situation that you'd like to discuss with us, 3 advisors were available to speak with you, or you can also meet with your professional development specialist. To find out who your professional development specialist is, that person that approved your resume. And for the students that have been around for a little longer and you don't remember who that was, just write to coop@uottawa.ca and we'll link you with your professional development specialist. I believe that covers everything. Danielle, Chantal, do you think I forgot anything?
I think you're good. And I've just added the key dates calendar to the chat because we talk a lot about dates and students get a little confused. So never worry, look at the key dates calendar, and every Monday you receive, Monday or Tuesday morning, you get a newsletter that updates you on all the things that are coming up, all the important things you shouldn't be forgetting. But the key dates calendar is always on our co-op website and through the Navigator. And you can also always see what's coming up in the next few weeks or the next few days. So check it out and keep an eye on that on a regular basis. But apart from that, I don't think you forgot anything. We'll have questions at the end. So
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Danielle.
You're welcome. Thank you. Is Isabel around?
Yes.
Oh, hello. I can't see you.
You can't see me.
No.
My camera is on.
Oh, there you go. Now I can see you.
Okay.
Okay, great. So what I'll do is I'll add the blurb also that we discussed earlier on, Isabel.
Yes,
you want
please.
me to put it on now?
Yes.
Okay, I will. So there you go. Isabel will explain the virtual interview process.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Isabelle Leduc, team lead for Co-op Placement Operations, and I'll do my best to explain to you how the first round of interview process will work for the summer placement. So, first thing to do right now would be to update your phone number via your UOZone account and verify your Skype username in the nav, or if you don't have a Skype username, just create one. We've put the procedures on the chat, so you should have all the procedures on how to do that. So for your Skype name, it's better to use to create a personal one. Please make sure that you use a name that's appropriate, because employers will see that Skype name as well. And we've also added the procedure on how to update your phone number in the UOZone, and that will transfer automatically into the Co-op Navigator. So what's important to know is that please put the phone number that you'll be using for your interviews. So employers will need to reach you if you have phone interviews. So please add that number that you want us to use for interviews. That's very important. And because we're doing the placement is virtual and employers will be connecting with you, we need to make this information available to employers. So employers will see your Skype name, they will see your phone number and your UOttawa email address. So that's all in the chat. All right. So now for the job postings. So as we mentioned, everything is in the key dates calendar, so no need to worry, no need to take notes about the dates, but I just want to mention them to you again. So job postings will start next Monday, so January 11. Please note that jobs are only posted for a 48-hour window. So once a job, after 48 hours, the job will close and you will no longer be able to apply to this job. There will be new jobs posted every day, so until the January 20th. So please make sure to check the NAV every day for new job postings. So from the 11th until the 20th, we will have job postings available for first round. And after that, we go to the interview schedule. So you'll have access to your interview schedule starting on January 13th. So employers will have access to your resume, and then they will select the candidates they want to interview for their job. So please make sure to verify that again. So as of January 13th until January 27th, you may get some new interviews in your in the NAV. So you look under My Interviews and you'll see if you have new interviews coming up. You also must confirm all your interviews in NAV. So you just have to note that you've seen the new interviews that we posted in the NAV. So it indicates us that you'll attend. Be sure to check regularly, as I mentioned, and be sure to read the notes also that are on the Navigator regarding the interviews. So that's in My Interviews. If you look at the notes, this will provide you instructions on how to proceed with the interview. So let's say it's a video interview and we have to provide you with a Zoom link. Well, the link will be in the notes, and at the time of the interview, you'll have to click on that link to connect with the employer with whom you have an interview. So it's very important that, again, you read the notes. Also note that if we have to call you, we're not working in the office right now. We're working from home and we're using our personal cell phones. So you may get phone calls from blocked numbers, but that might be the co-op office trying to reach you. So please try to answer your cell phones, even though the number is blocked. I think I went through everything I wanted to say about that. So interview period now. So the interview period starts on January 21st and will go on until January 29th inclusively. So it's a 7-day first round interview period. There's nothing on the weekends. So it's only Monday to Friday and it's from 8 to 5. So, and also if your first point of contact is the co-op office. So all this information is also in the chat. So you have our email address, coop@uottawa.ca, and you have our phone number, 613-562-5741. So if you do leave us a voicemail message, please make sure that you indicate clearly your name, your student number, and the phone number where we can reach you. And if you send us an email, always write your student number as well. And please note that we do reply to our emails in a short period of time. Within 24 hours, we try to answer all our emails. And if it has to be forwarded to someone that takes care of this a certain situation, we'll forward it to the appropriate person. And so all interviews are either by video or telephone. So there are no in-person interviews. You don't have to come on campus. It's all done virtually. During the interview, if you know that you will not be in Canada for the summer work term, please mention it to the employer that you have an interview with, because some employers will not be able to hire students that are not in Canada next summer. So please indicate that to them. It's very important that they know. And also during the interview, if you know that you will not, if it's important for you to know if the work term will be done virtually or if it's an in-person work term or on location, you can ask the question at the during the interview to the employer. Okay, if it's important to you to know. If you have any technical issues, again, it's the first point of contact, Co-op office. Contact us as soon as possible so we can try and help you with your technical issues. So again, send an email to coop@uottawa.ca or call us at 562-5741. When you call us, you have to leave a message and we'll listen to the message and reply to you. If an interview conflicts with a lab, an exam, a quiz, or other interviews, please complete the interview conflict form. The link to that form can be found under the useful links on the cover page of the Co-op browser or the Co-op Navigator. Please note, however, that regular classes or work are not considered conflicts. And at no time should you be contacting employers directly. So it's not permitted to contact the employers to, let's say, change your interview schedule. All that has to be done through the Co-op office. And employers are not supposed to be contacting you or to be offering you a job on the spot during the interview. So if they do, please don't feel obliged to accept the job offer. Just tell the employers that they need to rank in the Co-op Navigator and that all students will be doing the same thing at the end of the interview period. And now, so we had job posting, interview schedule, interview period, and now we're at the ranking stage. So the ranking will take place starting at noon on February 2nd until noon on February 3rd. And that will also be explained to you in the interview workshop on the how to rank, and we'll explain to you how the ranking works. And the results will come out on February 4th. Now, let's say you're not matched in the first round of interviews. Don't worry, there will be a second round of interviews starting February 8th. And additional information sessions will be offered to explain how the second round process will work. So what's important to remember is always to consult the key date calendar. That's very important for you to not miss a workshop or any important events. And you should also refer to the January 5th newsletter. If you receive the newsletter, there's a lot of information on the summer first round process. So please refer to that if you need some more information about how the placement process will work. And I think that's it. Did I forget anything? Maybe.
I don't think so. Thank you. Okay. I am answering a few questions on the chat right now, which I shouldn't be doing, but I am. And somebody still has their microphone on so I can hear myself. Okay, so I'm just setting this right now. Okay. Before we get to the question period, you can raise your hand and we'll go through the question period. Do any of my colleagues, does Chantal or Jose have anything to add before we go to that? Nope. Okay. So Since I did start answering the questions on the chat, like I said, the ones that I didn't answer, you can raise your hand and ask the question. If not, you can either send it to coop@uauto.ca. And if it's a personal question or personal to yours, we don't need personal questions, but if you have questions related to your specific situation, please send it to one of the CAs according to your program. Any questions related to co-op work permits should be directed to the international office. They have drop-in sessions, they have Facebook sessions to answer all those questions. If you're starting your first work term in the summer and you're an international student, your co-op work permit application should have been done in December. So without going into that anymore, I will go into the chat, not the chat, but the raised hands, and I'll start calling out the names.